everybody, Maria here, doing a little live after my 4 mile challenge here around. This is shift number 3, and boy, wasn't this challenging. So I took like an hour nap before, or in between the shifts, and I'm not sure, that might have been a wrong thing. An hour may be too long, and I should probably do no more than 30 minutes kind of thing. I should have done it, but anyway, it's nighttime, but I should have I will sleep more. But so I decided, because when I woke up I felt like, oh my god, yeah, these 2 rounds took an affair already. So instead of running, I shifted. So I got to listen to my body. Like I said, it's important, when we're doing something like this, or like doing anything. But, I haven't run this much in many years. And no regrets here. I'm starting to kind of take note how my body is feeling. And what side effects, what kind of things are pinching. I was having some cramps after the second round and things like that. So that means that they're still not drinking enough water, and or maybe and I didn't put the electrolytes, which I should have. I ate good for dinner, but anyway, so I decided to kind of change a little bit the schedule. Instead of going all running, kind of taking a step back. So I started with a walk, kind of warm up the body, since I was taking a long nap. So did walk for a bit, and then I started doing more like a very fast walk. From fast walk I went to then very light jog, and the last mile is when I would say I consider running. So that took me 50 minutes sharp to do this. So very interesting. And I know my buddy Ron is doing this too. I think he's doing with less mileage, his choice, and that's good. I mean, but he is doing about the same time, and he sends me pictures and all that of what he does. So he's normally done a lot sooner. So I can see here, he sent me a picture. Haven't taken a look yet. And I think that he's also going to bed straight. He's doing all outdoors. And I'm picking. So the first rounds today I did a mile outdoor, the other 3 miles inside. And this one I'm doing I did all 4 miles inside with an incline of 2 and a treadmill to kind of, mimic a little bit the outside. But I'll probably during the day, during the night, I'll be doing all inside. But anyway, doing this to understand my body and what it does, what does not do, and how the mind over here is going to speak to me. And I was, while I was watching this, running or jogging, walking, whatever you want to call it, because it's this pace that is kind of slower. So I put a PBS kind of thing on my phone to watch, and was about diabetes. So, if you know me, you know that I was pre-diabetic and was going to the route of diabetes, and I reversed all my life around my nutrition and everything else. And I'm a insulin resistance coach now, and blood sugar coach, and nutrition endocrinology and all that kind of stuff, personal trainer. And that is for the passion for the healing, because I understand, from my own experience, it is possible for us to change step by step. And I don't want to end up with some people in my life. So I'm doing my part on this for myself. And my mission is really to help people to take these steps, empower them to change their lifestyle. So just like diabetes, it's a slow progression, freaking terrible disease. And like cancer and others, they kill in a very evil way. So a healthy lifestyle is one that is gonna, at least we're doing our best to prevent this terrible diseases that sometimes inflammation is taking over. So it's all empowerment. We all can do it. We all can do it. It's the matter of, how badly you want to it. And also to understand that, certain things like that, they rise slowly. And we have so much power, on controlling things like that. And the mind over here is a very powerful thing. And it's easy when we look around and see people, with a lifestyle that maybe not the best for the body and the mind to do it. And surrounds our environment and people and so on. And we keep, doing the same thing like everybody else. The mind is going to say, hey, this is comfortable, so why not continue doing this, right? I mean, I know how it feels. I was there, and I was also very much in denial and a liar to myself for many years with things that I did, to my body. So, it all can change. So part of this challenge, I love to understand the brain as much as possible. It is fascinating. I don't know if you are like me, but I'm fascinated by the power of the brain, and exercise is one of the most transformative things for the brain. And this challenge is it's much more than just the brain. It's really physically taxing in a way. And the brain is gonna keep telling me over here, a little not so nice side over here. I call like the good side, the angels, and then we have the little devils over here. The devils are the lazy ones, and they're gonna say, now you don't have to do this. I mean, blah blah blah, all kinds of story, talking to me. The other one is saying, hey, you can do this. This is good for you. You're understanding your body. You know what you can do. You understand your boundaries. You grow from this. So I'm in that route. I'm doing this challenge to continue to experiment and build that resilience and to understand my potential. And we understand our potentials when we sometimes they hit a low, and then we come back. In the last 5 years I hit a lot of lows, and that's fine. It's part of the journey, and there is it's a beautiful, sometimes painful journey, but it's great. And the greatest thing is when you're able to kind of take all this enthusiasm and that knowledge and to transform the life of somebody. And that's my passion, because I know it can be done. It's just a matter of, wanting and, asking for help. Or understanding that, in order for us sometimes to not get into the rabbit wheel, that, in order to step away from it, we need a little guidance sometimes, and I love to do that. And, during this isolation pandemic time over here, most people are struggling with different kinds of issues. Stress is the number one, right? I mean, our foundation has been kind of, I want to say challenged, from the relationships, worry about, parents, spouses, friends, family, and all that, because we cannot get close, we cannot help the same way that we could or be there and so on. Then there is the foundation of finances, there's 20 million people unemployed. I had a couple side jobs, hustles that I did for get some extra money to pay some of the debt. That is all gone, but luckily I still have my business and, implementing new things now to kind of help people and continue rolling. And then, there is the other issue, which is our health. Other concern, basic concern is our health. So we got finances, relationships, and health. Those three are the most important ones. I think that most people are kind of concerned during this times. And again, on the health, from boosting your immune system, from the foods, from nutrients, from even herbs, essential oils, exercise, all those things boost the immune system. But also they're going to prevent all these diseases. They're going to keep our blood sugar, balanced. They're going to keep our mind clear. They're going to keep, our brain kind of, in a good or better shape to make better choices and to think more clearly, have less mood swings. All these are involved into, taking steps to improve our lifestyle And that lifestyle, what I mean is, you know, our food choices, building a nutritional template that makes sense, you know, to you, and so you can continue to enjoy life, but from also a different perspective that says, what kind of foods maybe I haven't tried in a while. Understanding, you know, what the foods and beverages, how they impact our body. You know, so nutrition is one, building your nutritional template, you know, movement. You know, for a lot of people, exercise is boring. It's not boring. There's different things that we can do, right? We just, sometimes the mindset of it, you know, is we haven't just discovered maybe what you really love. You know, it's easy to stay put, right? I mean, the brain's going to be happy about staying put, doing nothing. Well, it's easy. I mean, it's comfortable, right? But that's not really what the brain wants. You know, it's kind of a little contradictory, right? Brain loves that dopamine boost, you know, the epinephrine and the serotonin boost. All that comes from exercise, from physical activity, and other things too. But physical activity is one of the ones that boost the most. You know, so then we got, okay, nutrition, we got exercise. What other lifestyles? Our stress, you know, how we manage our stress from, you know, from breathing strategies that is going to help us, from breathing to, you know, taking time out, to even kind of, you know, exercising to help control the stress, to, you know, understanding what really brings calmness, relaxation, and taking more of those, you know, timeouts to bring more of that. Not, you know, if the news and certain people bring you stress, well, maybe we got to cut that. We got to minimize that. We got to be very selective about the things that we got to brings us to stress and choose to stay away from it. So we got nutrition, stress, exercise. So what else in that lifestyle? Sleep, very important. Okay, during this challenge, every 4 hours I got to be doing this kind of stuff over here. Not sleeping much over here, right? This is a challenge, so I understand that. So I'm kind of disrupting the body a little bit here, right? And I understand, but the sleep was fundamental because, you know, the body recovers. You know, we retain information. We grow as an individual. We, you know, we rebuild during our sleep. So, and that means, you know, about an average for most people 8 hours of sleep. The consequences of sleep deprivation, especially below 6 hours, is incredible for the body in the long term, short term and long term. So what else? I mean, you know, having more fun in our lives, you know, laugh, crack up, you know, these are important things. You know, removing toxicity from our life. Sometimes we don't know how toxic it is, you know, maybe mold, maybe toxicity from pesticides, herbicides, and foods and things like that. So taking measures, you know, the pollution. So what can we do, you know, to kind of minimize that? That's a little bit more challenging, but, you know, we can take one step, maybe look at one thing on toxicity, you know. So those are kind of things, and, you know, and the most important one, and again, part of this challenge is our mindset and the attitude, because it's going to be really hard for us to change anything in our lives unless we have that kind of attitude that we can do to remove the limiting beliefs in our lives. And this is deep work. This is tough work, but that's a work that pays off for the rest of a life. In the last 5 years, I've done so much work on myself and changed myself quite a bit, and understood the value of it that it has for my clients as well. Without that kind of mindset and outlook in life, and, you know, replacing, you know, those little things that are kind of putting barriers, they're barriers, right, that we have put in our minds, and maybe comes from childhood, from the environment that we grew up, you know, the traumas that we had. There is so many things, folks, so many things. And we live our lives not knowing all those things, how they're impacting. We just know that it's why I can't do that. Well, I know I cannot say it. Or you find yourself always going through, you know, some line of thought that may be so, you know, not the one that you would like, you know, to have. Well, it comes from a lot of times from having a fixed mindset, or traumas or things like that. They're dormant. And, you know, we're kind of, you know, putting ourselves into situations that is going to get ourselves outside the comfort zone, is going to make us kind of look a little, you know, say, oh, maybe there is an opportunity for me to change this. Maybe, what do I need to do? Do I need some help? What do I need to do? Right? So having that mindset that we want to improve for a different purpose, you know, it's not only, oh, improve, oh, I want to improve, I mean, my life is fine, you know, the way we are, surrounded by the people who are maybe negative or, you know, unhealthy and things like that, is comfortable, right? But then the quality of life is not great, especially the age of, you know, 35 and up. You know, and so it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not anybody's fault. A lot of times when we come to adulthood with certain things, I mean, I believe that parents do their best. Most parents do their best. But it is our responsibility as adults to kind of take a look at that, you know, and in order for us to kind of just take a look at that, that means that we have to change a little bit of the environment, expose ourselves to different environments and see what else is out there, you know, with a curious mind. And then we can change, and then we can change our lives. We can change the life of others. We can become catalysts for children, for grandchildren, for neighbors, for friends, for family. It's super exciting. It's super exciting when we can be that person. And that's what made me live a career of making 6 figures, comfortable, and doing all, because I saw the reward on that after I changed my life. And then after, you know, starting to work with some people, with my first clients, and I said, man, that is awesome. That's the kind of reward that I want to have for the rest of my life. That money sometimes cannot buy it. A job, you know, sometimes cannot deliver the same thing. And I had great jobs. I have great jobs, and I was very fulfilled for a while until I got the reward of the other thing, of the other side. So anyway, quite a bit of a long here. I was just gonna talk about, you know, my little 4-mile gig, but you know, got inspired to talk about other things, and hopefully that gives you a little perspective too. Get to know me a little better too. And hey, I'll be back here in less than, let me see, what time is it? Well, I got now rest 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, you know, this great stuff of life and change and growth, I'm here for you. You know, put a comment, reach out to me, a personal message, call me, email, whatever. Be part of a journey of that transludes and exudes health, you know, and I'll love to be part of that journey with you, you know, even if it is from, you know, receiving my newsletters and things like that I put out there, that are hopefully encouraging for most people that read them, and you know, and all this stuff. So anyway, have a good night. Sleep well if you're watching this, or I hope you slept well if you're watching this in the morning. Take care.